My name is Dan Burgevin. I'm responsible for making an image for a protest at the DeWitt drone base of a sword with a baby impaled on that sword, and the sword is painted gold, and if you look carefully above the baby, it looks like a cross. And the reason I did that is because I believe that Christianity in the wrong hands is actually a source of great violence in the world. And although the idea of Christ as the savior of humanity is a good idea, I think it's been co-opted somewhat by the military and our political system. And it's created the day that we're here to try and protest, which is the blessing of the troops by outside sources of the Christian faith. And when I was a little boy, I was in grade school in chorus, and we used to sing a song called "Onward, Christian Soldiers." Onward, Christian soldiers, marching off to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. That was the song, and it's still embedded in me, and that's why I made that image of a sword with a baby impaled on it, and the cross above it, and blood below it, because I just think if we're going to hide behind a cross and kill people, we're missing something. We're missing the point. And that's why I made that image, to tell that to the troops and to the pastors who went by that image. None of them saw it, not very many of them, but somebody who will take that image down. I'm leaving it here at the base, at the gate. And I'm actually going to leave it behind so that whoever has to clean it up will see it and will understand that no religion has the right to kill anyone, anywhere.
Thanks, Dan. I'm Clare. And I saw Dan's what Dan made and put up there at the sign when we first got here. And not only is it uncomfortable, it's kind of gut-wrenching to look at this package of like a baby in a shroud is what it looked like to me, with a sword piercing the body of this baby, and the tip of the sword looks very much like a cross to me. So it was kind of gut-wrenching because I know very well. I've been looking at allowing myself to see the images of the children being killed right now with our money and our name, and then it's very uncomfortable because there's this cross on that sword. And when I was asked what did Dan mean by that, what came to my mind was Constantine's sword. And it turns out Dan didn't know about that. But to put a little context, historical context, when the first Christians, who did not call themselves Christians, they called themselves followers of the way, were living communally and worshiping God and living the resurrection of Jesus, love over fear, they were being persecuted and thrown to the lions by the empire, right? They refused to bow to Caesar. Instead, they were bowing to God and Jesus' example, what Jesus offered them, the new way offered by Jesus. It was really important for me to learn that when the Emperor Constantine had a conversion to Christianity on the battlefield, that what was known at the time of Christianity flipped 180 degrees, such that before Constantine's conversion, no Christians could be in the Roman imperial army. after Constantine's conversion, you could not be in the Roman imperial army unless you were Christian. And all the pagan temples were given to the Christians. So instead of being sought, hunted, and thrown to the lions and killed, suddenly they're being given the goodies of the imperial court. So with that new relationship to power and empire, Christianity became an imperial religion. So instead of the cross of Jesus, that it takes on the suffering, it then becomes a religion where you use the sword to force your way, which is the opposite of what I understand Jesus was doing. Jesus never raised an army, and he submitted to God's will to the point of death and shedding his own blood. But he never raised a sword and forced his will on anyone, and definitely never took the life of the innocent. So what we're living now is hundreds of years of imperial Christianity, and I believe all of us have good intentions within that, but unless we're really conscious and understand our history and herstory, that we will be playing into imperial Christianity and doing the opposite of what Jesus is calling us to do, which is to love one another, love God, love neighbor, and love our enemy. And this sword that Dan Burgevin made, he knew it intuitively, because for those hundreds of years, that imperial religion has been used to kill people, steal their land, and lie about their humanity, saying that they're not children of God unless they're Catholic. And so we know that all people are children of God. And if you want to make converts to Christianity or Catholicism, it is not by the sword. It is by the cross. And that is the cross of vulnerability and submitting to God's will to the point of shedding your blood, but never taking blood. Thank you.